Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dreamweavers Podcast. Hi, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Tonight,
Hi.
Deanna is with us as always. Hello again, Deanna. And
Hello.
tonight, we would love to welcome the beautiful Jay from the Tarot Nook with us. Hello, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Hello,
We're so
everyone.
grateful to have
Hi.
you here. Thank
Hi, I'm
you.
so excited to be here.
Oh, it's
Oh,
so
thank you.
fun.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
and you have your own podcast also, and it's called the Tarot Nook, right? So
Absolutely.
we will
Absolutely.
definitely link that in our show notes. I'll say that right up in the top of the hour so that I don't forget to say it later. We'll have that in there because it's really exciting that I mean, like Ronnie and I are out here, we're like doing it together and you're just plowing out there alone, doing your
Yeah,
thing, doing your
yeah,
reading.
yeah, yeah.
How
I,
cool.
ultimately, I'm Aquarius and I fit the sign pretty well. So ultimately, I work best really when like it's like me and my energy, and
Yep.
it's just like more creative freedom that way. So I like it. I
I
definitely,
love that.
I
And
Perfect.
definitely
you
Very
do a
good.
lot of collective readings, right?
absolutely. So for a long time, originally I started doing tarot. I would say like closer towards like the beginning of the pandemic, taking it really seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been really reading tarot for the past 10 years. But about 6 years ago, I began my Facebook group, Intuitive Restorer, where I've been doing collective readings and doing like small little readings for people that attend the live. And, ultimately it just transitioned to the podcast world,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually just started this podcast really like a month ago. I
Wow.
already have like 12 episodes, so I'm trying to go all in.
That is so cool. That
Yeah,
is so awesome. Is there
absolutely.
like when you do collective readings, what is the energy compared to doing like individual readings? Do you pick up on something that feels different? Because I usually do individuals.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like where do you see different about those readings?
Ultimately, I feel as if energy is energy, and either it's for the collective or one specific person. It pretty much is the seed for mainly everyone, but obviously everybody has their own experiences, their own lives, the own choices they make. They have free will. So it's a kind of situation overall. I feel as if like, the way I do collective, it's like a general like energy
Mm-hmm.
that branches off into so many different small little energies when it comes to individual people. So the root of the matter is ultimately, I feel like one big collective anyway, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's pretty much ultimately like, what I base. It's like the seed. The collective reading is like the seed, and the individual readings are branches off of that seed, you know?
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that
yeah,
idea.
That was a
It's
beautiful
yeah.
explanation as
agree.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because ultimately, we're all different, but for example, a lot of people, when it comes to like astronomy and astrology, right now we're in Mercury retrograde, right? We just stepped
Yeah.
into Mercury. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. And it's the kind of situation ultimately, like, communication, like kind of like electric. It's like pretty much almost like the same kind of energy for everybody, but yeah, we're all different. We experience different things. So yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I love that. Yeah, because I've gone on Instagram or whatever, and you see the people that are doing the readings, and they're like, if this shows up in your feed, then this is for you. And I always think, yeah, but it's the same message for everybody, but you're
Yeah,
personalizing it. Whereas what you do is you're doing something that is for the greater group that then the individuals will pull their own messages out of it. So it's not like this is for
it,
you and only you or group seven, whatever the heck that is, keeps showing up on my reels
yeah,
or, stuff like that. So I'm
yeah,
so Ronnie, I'm making you laugh again about that. Um, so that is so cool.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so you said you've been doing this for 10 years, right? About?
Yes. I've been doing it for about 10 years. I bought my first tarot deck, like what, like 15, 16 years ago. You're like, oh, cool, I have a deck. But like
Yep,
ultimately, like really like, studying, getting to know each card because when it comes to tarot, there's the major arcana, there's the minor arcana, and there's a lot of different cards in there. So to get to know each and every on almost kind of like a spiritual kind of level, I
mm-hmm,
really started taking it seriously when COVID started.
right,
You know, when
right,
ultimately, obviously, all of us were going through a massive, massive awakening, a massive change in all of our lives. And tarot is definitely, working with tarot has ultimately brought on a lot of things that I needed to heal from. So it's just like, it all started during the pandemic, but yeah, I'm still doing it, still going. And I mean, regardless of however long you've been with tarot, you're always growing. You never know
yep,
exactly, what tarot every card means because for everyone a different meaning. So I mean,
exactly.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
I pulled a card for somebody the other day, and I was like, this card has never said this to me before, but this
yeah,
is what it wants you to know today. And I'm like, I don't remember what it was, but it was like this has nothing to do with any other time I threw this card because I do it kind of intuitive where it's like I know what they mean, but they may not mean what they say they mean when I'm doing the reading, but there's themes and kind of generalities to the cards.
yeah,
And sometimes they come up and they'll say something like, and I'll literally look up and I'll be like, what the heck? And I'm just like, well, this is what I have to tell you, and take that for whatever, however it resonates with you. This is what this card means for you today. And it hits people so on point when it happens. And I
yeah,
don't know, you probably get the same thing where it's like you're worried, oh my God, this is so off base, it's probably going to be wrong. And then you find out that it's exactly what they
yeah,
wanted, what they
yeah.
needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why, like I've come to a point where honestly, like I mean, like I really stopped caring if the person really resonates or not, and I just listen to my intuition. I
Hmm.
say whatever I feel in the moment. I listen to what the energy is telling me, and most of the time, I would say like a good. Like 90% of the time, they're like, "Oh wow,"
Yep.
it's all intuition. That's all tarot is really. People are like, do I hear voices? No, I don't. But I'm clairvoyant. So
Hmm.
ultimately I feel things, I see things with my third eye, with my intuition. Um so yeah, I just listen to the energy. That's
Yep.
it. And then,
Yeah.
as I'm doing readings and whatnot, I also I'm also a medium as well. So it's a kind of
Awesome.
situation through tarot. All of a sudden, that energy from the cards turns into, like branches off into like a person, a soul that ultimately has passed away that has a message. It really is a
Yep.
beautiful thing. It really is such a beautiful opportunity because what I love about that, and I also bring around crystals, it's just one big healing experience. That's what
I
I love
love that. You're
about.
like you're tuned into like on all these different levels.
Yeah,
And yeah,
you
I
have to be
agree.
open to
Yeah.
do so, you have to be open.
Right. I mean, I've been a medium for a long time, and when I'm doing tarot and all of a sudden I'm like, oh gee, there's somebody standing behind you right now, and do you recognize this, that, or the other? And about 90% of the time people will be like, really? And eyes get wide, hey, bring out the
Yeah,
Kleenexes, and
yeah,
and it's amazing how what started as from I don't know a lot about the history. I started to read about it a little bit, and I know it was like, yes, it's like divination, but it was also fun and maybe more a little bit gameish. And it still is seen as a game to some people now, but um and it can have such an impact on people.
yeah,
And I find that people like to have the cards. I don't know if you've noticed that, but people would rather have me throw the cards and give them a reading than just look at them and say, "Okay, this is what I'm getting for you."
yeah,
Do you get that
yeah, yeah,
sometimes?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, 100%, absolutely. I mean, the thing about so ultimately, I mean, like as spiritually, I've grown and whatnot. Do I really need tarot cards to do a reading? really know,
Right.
because ultimately it's all energy and intuition, right? You say what you feel, and that's pretty much it. But I feel as if tarot cards are great for people because then they actually have something to look at,
Yep.
and connect
Agreed.
with. It's a communication tool. It's a tool to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. I
people are
totally
all
agree.
people are all about visuals, all about what they can see, you know.
Yeah. That's a good point because they'll point out things in the picture sometimes. Well, what does that mean? Well, what does that mean? And I'm like, well, if it's getting your attention, then it means something. So let's ask, what does it mean to you?
Yeah.
And that's how I've found to get over little blocks where if I'm like, ooh, I can't quite connect with what this is trying to say. I can feel it, but I can't quite connect it. And I'll be like, well, what do you think about this? What strikes you in this picture or whatever? And it helps me too sometimes in those, terrifying moments when all of a sudden my mind is blank and spirit's like
Yeah.
dead silence. It's like, oh, shoot, I got to figure something out here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Which is why, I mean, there's so many different kinds of tarot decks. You have the basic Rider Waite, which is
Hmm.
very basic in regards to 10 of Wands. This guy is holding 10 wands on his back. He looks like he's in pain, but I have a
Right.
tarot deck. It's called the Wyckoff Tarot deck. And the 10 of Wands, and that's like my favorite 10 of Wands ever because it shows a guy. He ultimately has built a garden and he's planting the seeds in the garden he built. And it has the same meaning, but the visual just speaks to you differently.
I
You know,
see that. Yeah.
so that's another big thing about tarot. I always tell people, I mean, someone said start off with the most basic deck or whatever, which is the Rider Waite, but whatever you connect with, whatever
Hmm.
you connect with is what's so important because yes, like the 5 of Pentacles is all about worrying about your finances, right? But on the Rider Waite, it shows two people, take like pretty much like homeless underneath blankets, like outside of a cathedral, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
5 of Pentacles on another one can show on the Lightseers deck a girl in shrouds crying when there's a key and a door right next to her. Like it's just like you have to
Yeah.
connect with your deck. You know,
Exactly.
you have to
Exactly.
connect with your deck.
Now, how do you think, like, what do you do? Do you sleep with your ducks to get used to
I
them
was just
or?
gonna ask that. I was gonna say, what do you do to connect with yours?
Well, whenever I get a brand new deck, I always sleep with them. I always
Hmm.
have them like under my pillow most of the time, in a place where the cats can't find them because I have 2 cats and they like to kick around every card I have on my table. But
Yep.
I always sleep with them, and when I'm away, I take my favorite crystal, whatever I'm feeling, and I put the crystal on top of it. That way, it could soak in the energy from the crystal itself. Um, I always, always, always before putting it under my bed, actually, I don't like sage because it smells like ugh, I hate it. But I
Yep.
have Palo Santo, so I always
Yep.
like Palo it or whatever because the energy that comes from other people making it. I mean, I don't need that. But yeah, yeah, I Palo and I sleep with them. And that's pretty much
Okay.
exactly what I
You
do.
and I are very much alike with that because the sage,
Yeah.
I cannot stand the smell of it. And I use the incense, or I'll use just a cleansing incense of some sort rather than the sage. Unless like
Yeah.
somebody actually asks me to
Yeah.
like burn it for some reason, then I will,
Yeah.
ugh. But
Mm,
I do the same thing as I stick them in my pillowcase so that they stay right kind of near my head and under my pillow so I'm not sleeping on them, like the Princess and the Pea or whatever. But but I've found that by keeping it like in my aura, it
mhm.
helps. Even just like I tell like people have asked me, how do I start? I'm like, sleep with your cards, put them in your purse if you carry a purse,
Yeah.
and bring them with you everywhere. Like my cards are always with me in my bag wherever I go.
Yeah.
And it's not because I might do a reading, although that happens too. It's because I want to keep the energy back and
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's all about
currently,
balancing the energy. 100%.
yes, yes.
100%.
Now,
100%.
is
Absolutely.
is there a stone or a rock or a crystal that you think would be more helpful in establishing a connection? Because I've never really paid attention to what stones or crystals I use. I just grab whatever feels like I should and lay
So
them out.
the best crystal that anyone can get really when starting off is something you could get at Marshall's. TJ Maxx, and that's clear quartz. No one
Okay.
really for their
Yeah.
first crystal goes at a crystal shop. They're like, oh, that's a rose quartz wine topper,
Yeah.
something like that. So it's the kind of thing I always usually tell people clear quartz because that's something you can really get anywhere. But the crystal that I've always been attracted to, like to open up my third eye, has always been labradorite. And it's because of the
Mhm.
beautiful blue flash. It
Mhm.
has a beautiful blue flash. And what's so powerful about labradorite is it comes in so many different colors too. So you can
Right.
have a blue flash, you can have a purple flash, you could have an orange flash, a golden flash. Like it really is a beautiful, beautiful crystal. But the way I tell everybody, like whatever calls out to you, that's what you need to go for. Whatever crystal that crystals are all energy. Whatever energy you click with is the energy that you need in that moment.
Mhm.
So you may think that you might need a black obsidian for protection, from or grounding, right? But
Mhm.
you might love red jasper. And oddly enough, red jasper does the same thing. So I always tell people if they want, like, to start crystal shopping and you go over to, I don't know, like Home Goods or something like that, you can always get clear quartz or rose quartz.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would say like when it comes to any kind of crystal, just listen to your intuition and what you connect with is what you need in the moment.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. I can have like a bowl of different ones and I'll just be like, "Oh, I'm going out to do readings," and I'll just pull out whatever feels right and
Yeah,
off I
exactly.
go. Off I go.
Exactly.
And sometimes
Exactly.
I'll forget to bring them and then I'll, be like, "Well, guess I'm on my own without my crystals tonight," and I'll just forget them.
So I've been
Um,
collecting crystals for a very long time. So I have every crystal
oh.
that I could ever want to pick from. But it's a kind of situation. I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like this is a piece of sunstone, right? And the lighting here is terrible, which I'm sorry about that. But with the sunstone, it could all come in orange. But this one, what I love about it, it has a calcite
Mm-hmm.
spot in it. So, I mean, even if you have a sunstone and then all of a sudden you're called to another one because it has calcite, I mean, different pieces have different energy.
Mhm.
Totally.
That's all.
It's interesting. I was given a piece of, I think it's lava, although it
Yes.
came from the Midwest, and I don't know how many volcanoes are out there. But either way, I think it's lava. Whatever it was, one of our mutual friends had a bunch of them, and he was like, "Do you want one?" And I'm like, "I can hear them. I
Yeah.
hear these rocks. They're talking to me." And it's not like, "Hey, how you doing? You want to go out for a drink?" But it was just like this kind of underlying
Yeah.
electricity that was hitting me. And I was like, those rocks were talking. And
Yeah.
to get that connection with something is just so powerful. And I know
Yeah.
I call them all rocks, even when they're crystals, even when they're whatever. I just say
It's
rocks. But
terminology. It's
yeah.
terminology.
Yeah. I mean, I was the little girl that came home with pockets full of just stones and rocks that I would find
Yeah.
because I still do. I still do that. I just
Yeah.
like,
Me too.
there's in
Me
my
too.
car. There's like, what is this? Like a piece of cement or something? I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
no, that's just a rock I picked up along my travels somewhere.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do.
And you'd be surprised of the different rocks you have in your area. I mean, where I am, there's a lot of quartz. There's
Yep.
a lot of
Yep.
slate, but I mean, it's just very interesting, the different kind of rocks. And honestly, to be honest, a lot of people think that smooth rocks are powerful, but I honestly say rough rocks are a lot more powerful than the smooth rocks.
I think it just depends on how it feels to you,
Exactly, exactly. It's
and I mean, if you're gonna get water rocks, you're gonna get smoother ones anyways, right? If you're down
exactly.
pulling them out of the beach. I know I asked my son and his girlfriend went to, oh, I don't know where they were, on the beach somewhere, Massachusetts, is that on the beach? Something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, just pick me up a couple little rocks and bring them. And they bring me these things, like three of them, like this big. And I'm like, whoa, so cool. And I've got like these giant ocean rocks on my stand now. And I'm like, hey, they picked those for me, so those are the right rocks to have, and they're super cool. I don't know what the heck
Yeah.
they are, but they're really cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we used to have quarries around here where you could go into the quarry with your hammer and just knock at the rocks and bring home some nice geodes and stuff.
Oh,
Um,
so cool.
yeah, recently they closed them. I was actually just talking to someone about that a couple weeks ago that the quarries aren't, you can't get into them now because people go in there and they do stupid things. But there's a man around Rochester that he was going by the Rock Dock, right? And he
Hmm.
would come to all the different the vendor events and the crystal shows and whatnots, and he would just set out all these cool rocks, and I'd be like, oh, I
Yeah,
love this, and
yeah,
mesmerized. To anyone else, it looks like a gray round thing, and to me, I'm like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing. And he was
yeah.
the one that was telling me that there's a lot of rocks that you can
Hmm.
find that you can crack open and be surprised about what you find inside. And that's where you would
Yeah,
find some of those really cool crystal formations, or the Herkimer's near in New
yeah,
York too. So the
yeah,
diamond mines are right there, and
yeah,
um beautiful things come out of there. Even the small ones are just gorgeous because
yeah,
it's like, look at what nature makes. Look at what the earth
yeah.
creates, and look at
Hmm.
where we should be putting our value, right? On the gifts from the ground, on the gifts
Yeah.
from Mother Gaia.
Yeah, absolutely,
So,
100%. I was
yeah.
gonna say, when it comes to lava, what makes lava so special is it comes from Mother Gaia,
Yep.
and I mean, by holding it, or maybe like even if you're not holding, just being outside in the woods, it's such a beautiful healing energy, which is why lava is so special, which is why
Yeah.
crystals are so special because all crystals come from Mother Gaia,
Yep.
so it's funny because, when we're in school in earth science, we start learning about all these rocks. We're like, ugh, ugh, earth science. But
Oh
then
yeah,
as you get older,
sedentary. Yeah.
oh my God, sedimentary, metamorphic, who cares?
Yeah,
But
right.
then, like as you get older and, you start appreciating the things that, like you appreciate, I mean, it really is just, it's a spectacular, wonderful thing that ultimately, that comes from our planet,
Hmm.
it really is so special. It really is. And
And they talk.
yeah,
They
they talk.
talk.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
actually know someone who channels rocks,
Mhm.
and I got to hear her one day, and I was like blown away. Like,
Yeah,
channeling, people sometimes have the different voices and everything. It's like
yeah,
she just changed, and she was
yeah,
speaking as the rock, and I had never in my life heard that before, and it was
yeah,
so amazing
yeah.
They talk a
because
That's
little slower as a rule.
they
Um,
do,
I
yeah.
was gonna tell you to piggyback on your lava rock story. A near and dear friend of mine actually went to Iceland, and I don't know if you know. Did I ever tell you the elf story, Deanna?
You might have, but I need to be refreshed.
So, when they went to Iceland, they came back with some rocks, and they were actual lava rocks. And as they were being formed, because the lava was hitting the ice cold water, and the certain lava rocks, a soul of an elf gets trapped because they're formed so quickly. And so I actually got one of those, and I had an elf inside of a rock, and the elf spoke to me.
I love
Oh,
And it
that.
was one of the most amazing, coolest experiences that I've ever had. And
Yeah.
I had him for a very, very, very long time.
was he happy
Oh,
in the
yeah.
rock?
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
first thing I go to is, oh, is he okay?
Oh,
Is he
Yeah.
yeah.
is he
Yeah.
happy and
It's
fulfilled with his
it's
life?
it's a thing that they choose so that that way they can go with humans.
I
Yeah.
love that.
I
Because it
love
Yeah.
holds them. It holds them in this dimension. That would make perfect sense. It
Yeah,
grounds
so that they
them.
can go with humans. So it's
yeah.
a really, really cool thing.
And
So
then
cool.
did he go
So
away?
special.
Actually, he was out flitting and anyway, a friend of mine's daughter has him and is taking care of him right now.
I love that. I want an elf rock now.
Yeah, me too.
It's pretty cool. Let me tell you, it's
Yeah.
really, really cool.
That puts a whole spin on the pet rocks of the 70s that I had
Yeah.
growing up.
That's so interesting that you say that because I
Yeah.
thought the same thing when I first, you know, and the first
Yeah.
time it spoke to me, I was like, "What am I hearing?"
Yeah.
And that was part of the beginning of my journey.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Especially Iceland, how I mean, like, there's just still
So
so
cool.
much beautiful, 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 beautiful parts that haven't really even been touched, really. You know?
Mhm.
Well, and they still believe in all the mystical.
Yeah.
and they honor all of the mystical, and
Yeah.
that's what I find so beautiful. Not,
Yeah.
it's a little cold for me, said with all the love in my heart. You know, not there,
Says the
you
woman
know.
in Texas.
Yeah, I stay in the warmth. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it is beautiful, and you're right. So much to be explored. But I
Yeah.
think for me it's the fact of how much they believe in the mystical and how much they honor
Yeah.
everything and all walks.
Yeah.
Well, don't you think by believing and honoring, they're just creating it even stronger? I mean, that's the basis of manifestation, is to have faith that you have it. Have
Yeah.
Hmm.
faith it's there. And
Mhm.
to do that must just add so much to the magic, to the air, to the ground, you know?
Well, and I swear that it makes it undeniable for the people who really don't want to believe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because there's a really amazing story. Speaking of Iceland, there's a really amazing story that you can look up. And if I get some of the details a little mixed up, please don't kill me. And don't be rude or anything. But the gist of the story is there was this amazing huge boulder in the middle of this park, and they wanted to put a road through there. So they had all these cranes and bulldozers and everything try to move this big old boulder, and it wouldn't move. They ended up bringing out a lady who could commune with the fae, and come
Mhm.
to find out it was a fae queen, princess or queen. I'm pretty sure it was a queen. And so she communicated with it, and through that she learned that if they were to give her own spot and honor her and create all these couple other things, there was just a hand, like about three things that she wanted, and had they do all that, she would be moved. No big deal.
Mm. Yeah.
So even after she broke these bulldozers and these cranes that could not lift her, four men rolled her out.
The fact that they brought someone in to talk to her shows you how enlightened they are.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
And it's
100%.
so
Hmm.
beautiful and so cool. So they had a conversation. They had an agreed upon win-win situation through conversation.
Uh-huh.
And guess what? Everybody's happy. She got her honoring garden and, whatever she needed. I don't remember, but yeah, that's the gist of the story. So I'm sure there's a whole lot
I
of
love
details
that.
in there,
Oh, that's
guys, that
beautiful. I love
I
that
did not get
story.
spot on and perfect, but yeah, it is. It's really cool.
That's beautiful.
Iceland
Wow.
is beyond phenom.com from
Yeah.
in their way of thinking, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be
that's,
nice if we could bring that here? Wouldn't it be nice if we could
I
spread
think,
that?
I think it's coming.
Yeah,
I
I
a
think it's
little.
yeah.
coming because I really do run across more and more people. We've been talking about this,
Mhm.
and I keep running across more and more people, more and
Yeah.
more. It's really interesting to me.
Especially the newer it's not Gen Z anymore. What is it? I forgot. Gen Alpha or something.
I lost track.
Gen A,
The
B, C,
Gen
D, and
Alpha
E.
sounds correct. I'm gonna go with that, Jay.
I think they're definitely more open spiritually because people are starting to, I feel, move away from organized kind of beliefs and whatnot, and people are definitely more open-minded,
Hmm.
because millennials, I mean, baby boomers, millennials, almost kind of like a domino effect in regards to those that have been going with open minds. Then Gen Z came. Like it's true. I think it's coming. I think it's on its way because
Oh,
people are
it's
starting spiritually. They're starting to get curious. Curiosity. They're starting to explore.
Well, I think they're the ones
I
that are going to lead us through up
Yeah.
into the 5D ascension is the ones that are coming in now are coming in. I think it's Cryon who says it that they're coming in with already the knowing that we've all tried to cultivate over all these different generations. Each one gets it a
Yeah.
little better, but the ones
Mhm.
coming in now are coming in with it already. They're the ones that are released from karma. They're the one they don't even have karma.
Well, I was gonna say because
Absolutely.
karma went away, all of this other stuff can now emerge. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I haven't talked about this I have mentioned it a couple of times. But I don't talk about it too terribly much. It's been happening more though. The first couple of times it was kind of freaky, but I've been having it's progressing. That's basically what I'm saying. Have you started to see any of the digital, all the stuff? What's the word I'm looking for? The
AI?
dimensions? No, the dimensions. Are you starting to
Interdimensional.
Have you
Beings?
started? Nope, just in general. Just in general. Have you started seeing just when you look out sometimes and you take a deep breath as you're just kind of, okay, now I can go do this. There's times that I will open my eyes and I can see the grids and I can see
Yeah.
the
Oh, the
digital,
grid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it
dimensional grid.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I think of
The
it as
dimensions are
digital.
serious. Well, to me, it appears digital.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
use that word because
That
my
makes sense.
perception from how I'm interpreting it through my eyeballs is it looks a little digital. And it's kind of like old school snow on the TVs.
Yeah.
Long time ago, the old school black and
Yeah.
white
Yeah.
snow. But it's a
Absolutely.
little slower and it's not in black and white, so it looks kind of like that digitized stuff. But I'm here to tell you, man,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of the grid work starting to change.
Yeah.
To
Absolutely.
change
Because
is what I will say.
it's true. Because overall, I mean, like right now, I mean, I say it every live. I mean, I feel it all throughout the day. There is so much energy shifting because
Hmm.
people are starting to see how thin the veil is becoming. You
Right.
know, I mean, with how thin this veil is, it's very possible for anybody to have a massive spiritual awakening if you're open to it. And those that are already sensitive to it seeing it even clearer now.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah,
And
100%.
so many
Yep.
people, we were talking about it last episode, how many people um they're starting to wake up, and with that wake up they're like, oh, okay, this is the direction I can go, or they're having to go through the dark night of the soul, which for some
Yeah,
reason, of course, like attracts like, which is what we were talking about last time,
yeah,
and
Yep.
how I just recently came out of that. So I keep running into these people who I'm like, oh baby, hang in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's about to get
Well,
rough, but you're
Yeah.
going to be okay.
something that's definitely, like bringing these people like open minds is social media. I mean, TikTok. I mean, TikTok,
Dude,
everybody's on TikTok. There's so many. I don't really like TikTok because the energy for me, I feel, is too heavy. Like, I really
it's a
don't like TikTok.
lot.
Oh, it's a lot of energy and it's a very heavy energy, so I kind of stay away. But it's the
Mm.
kind of situation, there's so many readers on TikTok and people are
Yes.
starting to have that open mind. So these readers, some of them are like, they're there to make a buck. They're not there to like
Mm.
really do the searching and everything. But those readers there, some are very powerful. And people are starting to really start catching up to this energy telling you, like we were just saying with
Hmm.
this new generation, like this new
Isn't
generation is
it
bringing on
wonderful?
a lot of energy through social media. I'll tell you that. And it's an exciting
I
I'm
time.
mean, that's
loving it.
awesome.
Yeah, me too. It's
It's
I'm
exciting.
loving it.
Of course,
Yeah.
the
I am.
older I get, the harder it is for me to figure it out. But I just keep plugging along. I'm like, yeah, I'm over on Facebook, and here you guys are all on Insta, and I'm like just struggling to set up. I actually had to have my well, she's basically my daughter-in-law, like set up one of my Instagram accounts. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm too old now. Here, you do it, and she
Yeah.
set it up for me. It is what
Yeah.
it
It's not
is.
that hard.
Not
See,
no, but yeah.
I know.
Instagram, like I'm a Facebook person completely,
Me
100%.
too. Yeah.
My Facebook group I've had now for about 6 or 7 years I still go live on Facebook, like Saturdays and Wednesdays. That's
Hmm.
when I do collective readings, and I upload those readings to my podcast on Spotify, the Tarot Nook. But Facebook is where I am. There's something about Facebook, like I don't know, maybe it's just because it's what we're used to.
I
Us
think
Yeah.
being
yes.
millennials or whatever, it's like who knows,
We
but
get to a certain age. I don't know. I'm Gen X, and I
yeah,
was telling Ronnie right before, around about 2008, 2009, bam, my
yeah,
generation hit Facebook like whoosh, and
yeah,
everybody I went to high school with practically was on there, and it was like,
yeah,
whoa, I've got like 250 friends on Facebook, and half of them I never talked to before, but I know I graduated with them,
yeah,
and stuff like that. And I do use it. I use it more too. I have Instagram for my business. I don't use it like I'm supposed to, apparently, according to whoever makes those rules. But I agree that like Facebook for me is about as far as I can go with.
yeah,
It's and I think there's still a wide enough audience, and it's the people that are interested. Like one thing I've noticed, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I get, you fall down into those reels and then you're like, I guess they call it doom scrolling, I've heard. I don't know. You're
Mm-hmm.
just, an hour goes by and you're watching a bunch of cats
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Is some of those ones that I'm going by now, there's always people doing readings and like they'll say, stop if you see this, this is for you. And I'll stop and listen for a minute just to see if anything resonates. And it either does or doesn't. Mostly it doesn't. But there used to be the ones that were so AI. And it was like that AI
Yeah.
voice. And they're just pulling all these random cards. And they're like, well, you have to tap on this twice and hit the like button and share it to your third person on WhatsApp. And then I'll tell you who their initial is. And it was AI, though. It was so incredibly fake. And
Yeah.
now the AI is better, but I can still tell the difference, right? And I'm seeing more actual people
Yeah.
than those created ones. And whether some of it's the algorithm or not, or maybe this is what the idea was to put this out in the collective brain, and then all of a sudden all these people are like drawn to do it. So my cat just jumped on my arm and scared the heck out of me as I'm talking about this. And so I think it's fascinating to watch how stop. It's fascinating to watch how it's kind of changed and moved. And I haven't done that. I've wanted to just go out there and just say, "Hey, here's a reading, take it if it makes sense."
Mhm.
I haven't quite gotten there yet. Haven't quite. And you're off there, Jay, doing your podcast and just out there doing it, and I give you credit for that because I haven't made that step yet.
Yeah. It's interesting because ultimately it's all about like for me, like, especially since like, when I get comfortable, I get comfortable. You really have to step out of your element and
Yeah.
open yourself up to new energy. But now is the time. I
Yeah.
feel now is the time. Now it's like the safety net is out for your sanity.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So
It is. I
it just
agree immensely
yeah,
with you. I have a
yeah,
question. I actually have a couple questions for you, Jay, real quick.
yeah, of
So
course.
number one, with all this amazing energy, is your take? Because I ask everybody this right now because I am so all in, right?
Yeah.
What are you thinking and what do you know about the three-eye atlas?
The three what?
Three-eye atlas?
Um, yeah, I don't know if
Have
I'm
you heard of
familiar.
it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, Ronnie, wake
Okay.
him up to
Talk to
this. This
me,
is
talk to me.
fascinating.
So the three-eye atlas is the particles and energy that came into the solar system that originally they thought was a comet. And that's how it got its name was three eye. And then Atlas is a telescope. It's a whole thing of how it got its name. But it's three, the number three, the
Uh-huh.
letter I
Mhm,
backslash Atlas. And so what I have been hearing and what I choose to believe. So
mhm,
originally when it came in, the scientists said they thought it was a comet, and then come to find out it didn't present like a comet. It's doing a celestial dance. It's not just going straight across. It's doing all these other weird things. And then the more that they researched it, it doesn't have the same composition as well as it doesn't act like a comet. So now they're like, we really don't know. So I'm really proud of them for admitting that they don't know what it is.
yeah, that's big.
However, but in our world, in the whole spiritual world, Kelly Kolodny, actually, who channels the Archangel Raphael, she is where
Mhm,
I get a good amount of my information from. And then there's a whole slew of other people who I'm not going to list all their names, but
mhm,
anyway, that I've been listening to, and it's exactly everything that we've all been talking about. We've been talking about for so long, Deanna, is that, it's all here to help us wake up, raise our
mhm,
consciousness, and
mhm.
get to the other side of whatever it is that we're about to go through to get to the other side of.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's
Absolutely.
changing colors too. Recently
Yeah,
I read it changes colors. It's got like
it's super
some
excited.
properties that might match up with a regular comet. And then I also heard it could be from like billions of years before the Earth was formed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all there's a ton of speculation
I
about it.
would be happy.
And
Did I do that? I think I did it in another episode. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to link that video where Kelly Kolodny. So work with me here. Kelly
Yeah.
Kolodny, the human, channels Archangel Raphael.
Mhm.
Archangel Raphael in turn channeled the energy from Three Eye Atlas. So the
Mm.
energy from Three Eye Atlas spoke all the way out of Kelly Kolodny's mouth. And that's where it just sent me on a whole rabbit hole.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very,
so I
very
will
cool.
link
I'm up for
that.
it.
I would
I
love
will
that.
I will link that video, and as Deanna, I love it when she says show notes.
Show
I don't know why,
notes.
but it just makes
I
me
picked it up from
smile, and
somewhere. I don't know where, but I
and
like
I
saying
love
show
it.
notes.
I love it. So I will definitely link that in the show notes as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
And then
it's
my
really
other
interesting.
question is, oh my gosh, Mr. J, what do you want to do with all this? So you have a podcast, you're out there doing your readings, you're doing all the things, man,
Yeah.
and you are 100% all in right now. So
Yeah.
tell me the why and what is this for?
Overall, like I feel, well, I mean, it's all about, like starting a like healing kind of business. I'm definitely wanting to eventually go LLC, but it's a kind of situation overall. A big reason why I do it is because we live in such a crazy world, and so many people need
What?
hope. So many people need hope. So many people need, just energy to go about their day without going crazy. So I enjoy knowing by ultimately, like releasing my content, I'm helping people. Like I like regardless of like, like spiritual, I've worked with kids on the autism spectrum, and on the autism spectrum, I work at a nursing home now with those with dementia and Huntington's disease. And I like knowing I'm making a difference. So with tarot and the messages that I can receive, I know that energetically I have the ability to make a difference. So that really is the goal. But I really ultimately want I'm really working on transitioning all of this work that I'm doing right now to a business where I'd be able to definitely grow into even bigger things. It's all growth, but yeah, ultimately an LLC. But I think it's important, especially if we like, have these gifts
Yeah,
to give this world some hope, man.
I
Like it's
love
our
that.
Hallelujah.
job.
Yep,
It's our job. It's our job as healers, as light workers to shine light in a dark world?
Thank
exactly.
you.
Oh, I love
I
the way you
was
put
gonna
that.
say thank you. So
Yeah.
you mentioned, so what are you doing to help? Well, that led me to a few more questions, Mr. J.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh,
I love this.
I'm the question asker.
Yeah. Yes,
I
ask
always,
it. I love it.
um, so you mentioned that you work with autism and dementia and all of these type of things.
Yes.
Tell me about that and where are you with your spiritualness and helping them? Like, have you figured out the connection there?
I mean, overall, I mean, like, I look at, I mean, autism. It's such a wide umbrella, but ultimately, like, it's an energy exchange. I mean, like, if you go up to, somebody, regardless if they have a disability or not, like, it's all about the energy that you give that can, make them feel more at ease and more relaxed, and
Yeah.
it's the
Okay.
same thing with it's the same thing with Alzheimer's. I mean, these people, I
Hmm.
mean, very sadly, they don't know who they are. They don't know where they are. And
Yeah.
it's an amazing feeling, just like, like looking into their eyes and them smiling and them just being comfortable, like,
That's
I
awesome.
mean, working in that kind of field, it's all connection, it's all connection, and it's all an energy exchange. And I mean, that's really like, yeah, like everything is linked. Energy is so big. So yeah, I hope that
Have
answered
you,
the question.
it
Yeah.
did, and it's a
Yeah.
beautiful answer. Have you heard of the telepathy tapes?
I have heard of the telepathy tapes. I have. I,
Okay, so that led me down the rabbit hole that I'm currently on. And
yeah.
so when you mentioned some of the things you're doing, I'm learning to become a communication partner,
Hmm.
which will lead to communication regulation partner and helping these individuals, non-speaking individuals, learn to
Hmm.
spell and how to communicate. And
Hmm.
that's why I was asking if you've learned where the spiritualness comes in and how it connects, because that's what I'm excited to see how it does for me.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot. I mean, tablet technology is such a big thing. It's such a big communicator. But I mean, I mean, a big thing about, on the spectrum, it's a disability, but it's also a different ability. They learn
It's
different
an
from us,
ability.
but they are genius. They are genius. They really are. Like I worked with the kid that used to take apart VHS tapes and cut the part that he did not like in the movie, tape it together and put it back in the VCH type so he can watch it without
Wow.
the worst part. Like it just
That
blew
he
my
doesn't, that's
mind.
a brilliant. See, look at that.
Wow.
It just blew my mind. And it's the kind of thing, I mean, like overall, regardless if you have a disability or not, they feed off of your energy. Does it give them comfort? Does it give them structure? Does it give them, the feeling of like solidity? Like it's an energy exchange. And if you're a person, if you're a healer and they feel the love that you have in your heart, anything and everything is possible, you know? Anything and everything is possible. So that's an amazing thing. 100%.
I love it.
Do
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
ever feel like that profound connection with patients, your elders, the elder
Mhm,
patients,
mhm.
as the closer they get to taking that step to the other side, the
Mhm.
more that connection actually opens up with them?
Yeah, yeah, there's been
Yeah.
a couple moments when, a lucidity event happened, which is
Mm-hmm.
magical, which is
Yep.
absolutely magical. I mean
Mm.
I mean, I'm activities, so I run programs, right? And you get to know them on a basis where ultimately they feel comfortable, like, "What is this, honey? Tell me what this is." Like, "Let's
Mm-hmm.
watch this, sweetheart," whatever, and it's the kind of situation sometimes it's happened to me a couple times where one woman was, a Holocaust survivor, and I was just bringing her to her room, like, "It's time for dinner," I'm just bringing her to her room, and she never talks. All of a sudden, she's like, "I'm from Germany."
Whoa.
"What?"
Yeah,
"Huh?" Like, these lucidity events, yeah. Yeah, 100%, like, it really is fascinating. It's
it
fascinating
is.
what
Mhm.
energy can do and how energy can shift, like, dynamics because it's tough, like seeing all of these brilliant people have to go every day with a terrible disease like Alzheimer's. And it really is a beautiful thing as they're about to transition, because it always happens right before
Yep.
transition, having that moment of clarity.
Mhm.
Like it just gives you chills. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a feeling like it's an honor kind of a
Yeah.
feeling just to be around that.
It's an absolute honor to be able to experience a lucidity event. Like
Hmm.
it really is just breathtaking. It's life.
Hmm.
It really is. It really is.
I
100%.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I love the work you're doing, Jay. Thank you. Thank
Of course.
you.
Of
My
course.
goodness, I can really tell that you are so passionate and so full of love out here. Just that's
Yeah.
why you're out here, man, doing the light
And
work, man. It's amazing.
and that's why I'm doing my podcast. I mean, Facebook,
Yep.
I have my followers. I have
Yeah,
those.
tell us all the things. Where can people find you, baby? Where
Yeah.
They
can people find you?
I could be found on Facebook, the Tarot Nook with Jay. And I go live on Wednesdays, midweek energy check-in, and I go live every Saturday for the week. And I always pull cards for those that are watching. So ultimately, if you are interested in receiving a small little message, um, always at 8:30. And then I have my Spotify platform, my podcast that I just started, and that's just called the Tarot Nook. That's called.
Okay.
And I'll say I've had some of those readings from you before, and they are very, very good. So if y'all out there are thinking about it, do it. They're great.
I
Yep.
bet
Thank
they are. I
Yep.
bet they are.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
New beginnings for everybody, right? Now is the
Exactly.
time. It's so exciting. Manifest what you
Yep.
need to manifest. Say, when you
Yep.
talk to the universe, don't say I hope or I wish, because that's a energy of lack. Say it's already happened. Match the energy and watch it all unfold in front of your eyes. Beautiful time we're in right now.
Exactly. I joined or helped create a group based on the power of eight. There's three of us, but it's close enough. And we do those manifestations every week, and
Mhm.
it is amazing how much of that, I'm a believer before I even do it, and I'm still blown away by how
Yeah.
many things from that manifestation come. And then, trying to figure out for the things that don't come, where's the block against it, right? Where are we putting up our own blocks to keep those things from coming in? And
Yeah.
being able to get a reading
Mm.
or work with the crystals or do something like that gives you that
Yeah.
ability to connect with where you can get some of those answers. Ronnie, what you do, bringing in the higher self, you
I was gonna
know?
say for me, I've always learned that it's more of the let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
feel like that is always my answer is, well, you have more shit to let go. And
right,
I'm
but
Ex-
like,
even identifying where the shit
thanks.
is first is to be able to
Well,
let
that's what
go
I
of
say.
it.
It is like,
Yep.
well, what shit is it?
Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta go
And then
down
I'm
in
like,
those levels, go down
"Okay,
in those levels. That's how I
Shadow
teach
work.
people.
let
Yep,
me go deeper. Let me
exactly.
go deeper. So yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Now
the thing a lot of
it's,
people don't understand. No one is completely healed.
Right.
oh,
Life is a healing
what?
experience.
What?
So there's always layers. Like it's what I mean. Like Shrek said it best. Like I'm like an onion. Onions have layers, right?
Yep.
Layer after
Yep.
layer after layer. You peel each layer. You discover what you have to work on. You work on it, and then there's another layer. But that's the beauty of life.
Right.
That's ascension. You know, you just keep on doing the best you can. Put your best foot forward every day, and
And you
just
learn
have the
to
faith
enjoy it.
and
At
learn to enjoy
some
it.
point in time, you finally figure it out that it really is all about the journey.
Exactly. It's all about the journey.
It might take some
Yep.
of us a little longer than others, but we do.
Well, then
Listen,
it just
everything
gets fun.
That
I used
is,
to
it's
hate I
true.
used to hate this phrase. I used to hate it, but everything happens in divine timing.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, yes.
There's no such thing as time. People don't really completely
Right.
understand. There's no such thing as time. When it's meant to be, it will be for your own greatest good. You
Right.
know, for
Time is
your
just our construct, just so
yeah,
that we can put some organization in our human brain. But
exactly.
yeah, I mean, we
Mhm.
could totally go into like parallel timelines and all that, but we would be on
I
here for
was gonna
hours.
say, will you come back, please? Oh
I will
my
come back. I would
I
love
gosh,
would
to.
love
I
that.
love you so much. I would
Yeah.
love to host you again, please.
Oh, I would love
Yeah.
to. It's so much
Thank
Awesome.
fun.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, both of you. It's a
Awesome.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing you're doing.
Oh,
Thank
well, we
you.
love it and we're glad you're here to be part of it. And I think we're at the
Just
point
out here
where,
doing like you, man, just
yeah,
sharing the love.
yep,
Yeah,
yep, trying to spread
absolutely.
that light. So I think we're at a good point to start
Yeah,
our sign off.
yeah,
Um, First of all, one last question for you, Jay, because
sure.
this is always a question I like to ask tarot readers. Do you let people touch your cards?
If I'm doing a
Cards,
reading,
Ronnie. Wait, Ronnie, I said
No, no, no,
cards.
no, no. You have no idea because I got a shout out.
Okay, well, let's
And
see.
that was a question that, yeah, that was a whole conversation today. So yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So, what do you
like
do?
in order if I'm doing a reading for somebody in person, I have to feel their energy out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I mean, I think I mean, when you're like you shuffle, it's your energy. When you have someone else shuffle, it puts their energy out and it makes the message stronger. But if the energy is really bad, you ain't touching my stuff.
Yep,
Hands off.
yep.
you know,
I hear you.
you know.
I hear you.
Mhm.
I'm always curious because people will say, "Oh, you're supposed to get your first deck gifted to you versus buy it," and I'm like, "Nah." And oh, nobody can touch your cards because of their energy, and I'm like, "Well,
Yeah,
maybe." But I always have people pick the first card because
yes,
that's how their higher self comes in to decide what we're going to talk about. But
exactly.
yeah, I was just curious how
Mm.
you look at that because it's always an interesting conversation with tarot readers. Is
Yeah,
someone allowed to touch your cards or not? Because you get a million different things. So I
That
agree.
yeah.
It
is,
depends on the energy that
It
they're carrying
depends
with
on the
them.
energy. I
mhm.
don't need any
Yeah.
negative energy contaminating a tool of divination that belongs to me and my energy. But
Hmm.
if so, I mean, most people are just looking for a message over something, and I mean,
Yeah.
that's the beauty about tarot and spirituality. There's an answer.
Yep.
Like the answer? I don't know, but ultimately what's coming forward is for
Yeah,
your
but there's
greatest
an answer.
good.
Yep. You
Hmm.
get your answer no matter what it is, you're gonna get it.
You'll get
So
it.
Exactly.
So, Jay, again, we want to thank you. Rhoni, did you say you have a shout out?
I do, and it's so interesting. Hello, Shy. Shout out to Shy. Her name is Shy,
Hi,
Right.
SHY.
Shy.
And she
Hi,
was the
Shy.
most interesting lady. And yes, I let her touch my tarot deck.
I love it.
And she said, "You actually let people touch your tarot deck?" And I just said, "Yes, I do. That's why I handed them to you."
I
Yeah,
love that. I
I
love that.
love
Well,
Yeah.
that.
hi, Shy. We're glad that you're with us.
Hi,
So,
Shy.
at this time, I'm just going to remind everybody like, share, comment, subscribe. This is how we grow our community. The bigger we grow our community, the more people will come on it and the more interesting things everybody will get to see and learn about and teach. Which is if you are watching and you would like to come and talk with us, bring it. Send us a message. We do check, we do look, we do read, and we would love to have whoever you are come and spread your message of what you do in this world that we live in. So
We
I
would
think
absolutely
with
love that.
that, we are going to sign off. So, as always, I'd like to remind you all be blessed and be blissed and carry that light with you. So, we're going to say goodbye. Bye
Have an
bye.
amazing rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, Jay. Thank you again.
Thank
Mwah.
you.
Can't wait to host you
Yes,
again, friend.
absolutely.
Bye,
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
everyone.